7 seconds on that. 6, 7. All right. Start that off. Merry Christmas Eve to all of you who are watching. My name is Amelie, and you are watching Celestic Intelligence Podcast. And hopefully, you can hear me really well. I'm on my iPad, and so if it ends up being really weird, I might just end it. I've got my beautiful fire here. There you go. Got it crackling in the background. Got my tea. Ooh, it's hot. Got my candles ready to light. Let's light some of these. It's really funny. I got this a couple years ago from my sister-in-law. She made these. She goes out and she collects all these little teacups and makes candles out of them. Or at least she did that year. All right. Light a candle for identity. We're going to be talking about, well, hopefully this one doesn't burn out. I see some people in the chat. If you can chat, let me see if I can see your comments. Maybe I need to push a button. Live chat. Oh, I see somebody. Zelero Morales. I'm trying to remember what your name is. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Top chat. I'm on my iPad. Please forgive me. I know how to do this all on my phone. Well, as you guys know, I've been taking a little bit of time off to decompress, refocus, re-energize, and really focus on getting a closure from this year. Let me know if you guys can hear me too. Mr. Nargis is in the house. Late Bear, that's right. Well, welcome. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you guys. I know that a lot of people are celebrating, the gift-giving part of the season. And while that's important, there's a lot of things that we also should be talking about, which is the upcoming end of the year. And so I really wanted to focus on departure. 11 people watching, one person like 111. I really wanted to focus on this departure notice of 2025. And for those of you that have watched my podcast, I've been naming 2026 the year of connection. And the more that I dove into it, just kind of intuitively came to me one day. But the more that I've really been tuning into what that means, how that's going to play out in the coming year, the more relevant it becomes, because the year of connection is going to be a universal 1 year. So the number one, so that's, your identity. This is new beginnings. This is adventure. This is kind of the journey of the fool. That fool number is 0, but it's like kind of moving into that one of, who am I? What am I doing? And almost this really deep brand newness universally. So you all have your personal year numbers. Mine happens to be, I'm in a 7 year right now. So next year at my birthday, I'll be a personal year 8, while I'm still in this year 1. So you can look at all those. That's a pitchy. The fire's agreeing with me. So we're fireworks. We're closing this next coming year, and even more so, we're closing this universal cycle. So we're going from a 9 into a 1. So the 9 year that we've been going through, and maybe you've felt the heaviness of the energy that is the 9 year. It was a Chinese zodiac in the year of the snake, which is all about transformation. It's very scorpionic, death, rebirth, shedding, all kinds of things that are associated with the snake. Um, I don't know why my comments aren't just gonna pop up back here. Sounds good. Thank you. Hi, Grayson. To you too, my friend. I guess. So we're closing a universal cycle, and that's why I really wanted to name this episode this departure notice of 2025. As with all endings, some things just are not going to come with us. There's going to be a lot of things that are not meant to come with us. I recently, like on Monday, I lost my phone. I can't find it anywhere. I went and looked on the side of the road where I think it fell. It's nowhere. I called different businesses. That phone is not meant to come with me into the next year. And it was a little heartbreaking because there was 4 years of photos on that phone, and thankfully, like all the good ones I've uploaded to various social media places, but there's some photos that I'm just never going to get back. And namely, some of them of my son. I don't know that I can retrieve those. So little saddening, but at the same time, I looked at losing that phone as this is just not meant to come with me into the next quantum leap of wherever I'm going, right? It just was not something that, as a physical and maybe psychological and emotional thing of weight that I carried, it's just not coming with me. The other thing that wasn't meant to come with me was the tethering that is surrounded by our phone devices. So, everybody, even children, now have these handheld cell phone devices, smartphones, for the most part. Like a majority have those. And we don't know the contracts that we are carrying by holding those. A couple things that I had to do. So for work, there's authenticators that allow you to go into their cloud-based systems so that you can do your job. Um, I'm unable to access that, so I had to go get a um, hard icon or bypass number so that I was able to log in. I'm no longer able, because I don't have a cell phone, to get that push notification of, okay, here's what the number is now. Here's what the number is now. On the other end, my I work for a university, and so I take the transit system to get to work. And without having an app which had my bus pass on it, because it's all tied to my phone, I wasn't able to ride the bus for a couple. Well, it was just a day, but it felt like a couple days. It was disrupted my routine, and so I had to really look at how much I'm tethered to this device, and still will be for the next few days. So, um, these are the things I'm talking about. Some things are just not meant to come with us into this next whatever one universal 1 year is going on. Let's see if we got some chats. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it's okay. I'm ready to flush my phone every day, but on the road it is my only friend, right? We don't realize like how tied we are to just to the cell phone. Screens are a wild concept for sure. They really are. And I mean, I still have my iPad, so I'm still able to do some of the things, but I wasn't able to access my phone carrier account without my cell phone. I had to use my thankfully my son had one. I could use his phone to push okay on whatever it was. So it made me look at things in a different light. Not that I had already been doing that, because I have my little side project, the digital age, where I'm looking at the shift from analog to digital and all the effects. Now I'm looking at it of, oh, okay, now we've got even more tether. Like, what are you consenting to contractually, that you just do it because it's easy, not because it's the thing you want to do, because that sits with what your values are. You're looking at things as, just do it, just accept the terms and conditions, just do this, just do that, just make it easy. I like, take the agency. I don't want to think about it. Just make it easy. Which is what I was talking about with the bus pass on my phone and with the authenticator of to get into my work. It was very, very, I wouldn't say very eye opening, but it illuminated a little bit more of, some of the things that I had agreed to myself and what I was going to do. The other thing is, my phone is an iPhone 11. I bought it 4 years ago. I think it was a refurb 4 years ago. And so I've been carrying it for the last 4 years, across the country, all over the place, doing whatever, wherever, however. And I had the phone insurance on it, and here I am. I'm also reevaluating, my financial. How am I going to lay out my financial future for the year 2026? And it causes you to look at, okay, what am I paying for? What am I budgeting right now every month to just get by? And phones are a get by consideration. And so I've been paying almost $20 a month for I don't know how long. And so I go to use my phone insurance, which the deductible was a 9 as well. So that's really funny. But I go to do that. It's $279 deductible. And so I went and looked online to see, okay, if I was to buy it from Amazon, what is the best deal I could get for the same exact product that I had? And the lowest cost, if I got it in a different color, was going to be 280. That was the lowest price I could do. And so I'm looking at, do I have phone insurance going forward? Probably not. Next time, I'm just going to pay that money to the open market and not deal with insurance. That's that's where I came with it. But 279 did add up to 9. So I thought that was a very interesting correlation with this departure of year 2025, where we're getting rid of these things that are just not meant to come with us. All right, let's see if I'm missing. Wish I could just keep them up. Interesting episode pertaining to the topic on Andrew Kaufman's recent post on Rumble. Oh, he was talking about the same thing? Well, it's definitely it's in the air. All right. So when I look back at this whole year, I named it the year of refinement. And refining is definitely fire. Like, you're in fire and it's purifying you. But it's very uncomfortable to be purified. I'm imagining if, silver or copper was alive, it would be very, very painful to go through that process. But I did go through a pretty intense process. So this year can really be looked at as this initiation period of, are you going to finish and complete the cycle, or are you going to go back to your old ways and repeat and go through the learning, whatever you've got to learn again and do it again? So if you think of it as an initiation and you look at it as Am I going to complete, or am I going to repeat? That is something that you can really reflect on in these last few days of the year of, what was I initiated into? Like, I lost my phone. I had to give up my RV. I had to give up my car. Um, I had to give up a job. I had to change jobs. I gave up a lot of relationships. I lost a family member. There's a lot of initiations that were going on this year. It was a very, that's just a small amount. I mean, it's a lot, but it's a small amount of what I was going through. So when you start looking at what are these initiations that I'm going through, and am I going to complete my initiation? Am I going to pass that? Or am I going to repeat and have to go through it again and maybe have a little bit more gentler of a time the next time around? And it really, we're all kind of just going through these repeat initiations over the long term, right? Like, if you're working on something and you keep on kind of going into the same thing, but it's a different environment, different people, but the same plot, basically, that is going to happen. And it's, how well am I going to manage it now? So, me losing my phone, I was annoyed, but not so much that it was like this huge emotional dysregulated moment. It was like, oh, that's kind of annoying. I guess it's going to be really quiet around here for the next week or so until I get my phone figured out. But okay. A lot of people would be in sheer panic mode right now of, oh my gosh, I don't have this, I don't have that, because their identity is tied to that device. That device holds their identity. It's how they communicate with people. It's how they post to social media. It's how they do this, how they do that. There's so much tied into that phone that their nervous system and that phone are now synced together, because you have your biological nervous system, and then the phone has its own nervous system. It's a part of a nervous system, digital nervous system. If you've been watching my digital age podcasts, I talk a lot about that. Um, all this digital stuff is creating this synthetic nervous system. And so when you're around it, you're tying it together. Like, the rare earth elements that are in it are actually, tapping into your biological field, your bioenergy field. And this is how they're creating that brain computer interface peripherals, which is a huge technology race right now of who's going to create the first one. Because it's going to be like Google, it's going to be like Band-Aid, it's going to be like Kleenex. Who's going to create the first successful one that is going to be the household name of BCI, brain computer interface technology? That's what's happening right now. And it's been happening for the last couple of years. There's a huge race. So we're connected to those things. How aware are you of that? How conscious are you of that? Okay. Where is your nervous system? Mine was I'm just nonplussed about it. It's like, okay, it's going to be a little quieter around the house, at work. I found my workarounds. I'm good. I can get to work. I can access my stuff. So yeah, that's really what we're looking at. Today, I want to look at how we view our psychic hygiene. And part of this is that nervous system hygiene, right? What's our psychic hygiene? So there's several domains that we can look at of where closures might happen. Let's check and see. Mike's here. Whoop, whoop. Let's see if I missed any others. I support you and your channel. I'm trans also. Well, welcome. Losing a phone is sometimes a blessing, let me tell you. Why can't How do I pin these? I literally just wrote a list like that last night. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give you guys some ideas of some domains of where we can focus on closures. So one of the big ones for me this year was identity. So our identities. What part of our identity are we looking to want to close? Make sure my fire's still going. You guys can see it? Okay. So identity is a huge one. This could be getting married. This could be having a child. This could be getting divorced. This could be separating. This, like, all these things can change your identity. It could be getting a promotion at work. It could be getting fired. Like, all of these things shift our identity. Okay. So when you're looking at closing a certain area of the identity domain, maybe there's several identities that you have to close. Um, I've been working on closing the identity of um, being a daughter and moving up into the matriarchal chain, after my mother has passed away. Okay. Another domain, and we may not think of it, is conversations. So conversations that we are choosing to carry on can be a domain that you want closure to. Just don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm done talking about it. Politics is a big one for me. As soon as people talk about politics, my interest level like dips. I'm like, I literally feel like I'm turning into a ball of mush. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear it. And so I start tuning that stuff out. Some people might think it's important and they might want to have more conversations about politics. That's not me. Same thing with certain entertainment. I'm just not interested in these topics, these conversations. Whenever I hear them, it's a big blah for me. The things I want to hear about are really forward thinking of how are we going to manage in this digital age? How are we really thinking about how our nervous system is integrating into this technology? These are topics I'm interested in. History. I love conversations about history, but some of these other topics I'm just not into. Okay. Your domain of conversations is going to look a lot different. The other domain we can think about as far as its closing is expired roles. So I had to get rid of some relationships that were long-term relationships as far as like in number of years. And one was 25 years, the other was 20 some odd years. I mean, these are long term relationships that I had to just say, look, I know that you, like, I know that we have this really long, like, nostalgic and historic relationship. However, I don't feel good continuing that relationship now. So this is the end of it. And I had to close those conversations and then close the role that I was playing in continuing those relationships of just because somebody has been long-term nostalgic in my life, that means that I have to keep them around me, which is not true. If the relationship does not feel good to you and your role is basically being kind of sponged from, you can choose to close that relationship, close that role that you're playing, because it's now expired. You don't feel that role anymore. You have new roles to take up, okay? Another domain that we're going to talk about is, or think about, are audiences. Did they just call trans? I think so. Shirt 103 is trans. Merry Christmas, Mike. Good to see you. I know, I came on all of a sudden. Abos, I don't know how to say your name, but hello, Merry Christmas. So audiences are one where, especially in the social media world, people just want numbers. They don't care about the quality of the numbers. It could be, sock accounts for all they care. They just want the numbers. But, really having a good, solid audience is in exchange of energy. So, when I'm talking about the conversations that you want to have in your life and then the roles that you want to keep, it really is like, do I want to entertain these people with my energy? That's really what it boils down to. A lot of people will come on to my podcast and they'll say, "You're boring. You're this, you're that. Let me see a full picture of you. And it's like, okay, if you want that, you can go to OnlyFans. That's very much you can go there, you can go on Tinder or Grindr or wherever you want to go. Go find your entertainment there because I'm not here for that kind of interaction. You're not my audience." And I'm okay with that, of saying, if you don't like the content that you're watching, go find the content that you do want to watch. There's millions of accounts on YouTube alone for you to go find that stuff. The fact that you're here, you're watching and listening, liking, and resonating with the message means that you're my audience, that you're the audience that I'm seeking, right? I'm okay with letting those people go and them getting banned. Like, it's fine. I'm not the one banning them. I'm gonna install mods, or is that what they're called? Yeah, mods, so that they can figure that out for me. I'm just here delivering my flow state message. All right. The last, so we're talking about psychic hygiene, and there's a lot of things that we can look at, but and we can go on for a long time. But the last one I want to talk about is behaviors. So this is the last domain that we're going to touch on today, of what we're closing, right? So some of the behaviors that I was kind of forced to close was scrolling on Instagram. I mean, I can still do that on my iPad, but scrolling on Instagram, going and checking all my social apps. I just periodically do that. That's a behavior that's getting broken right now. Okay, it's getting disrupted, and am I going to go back to it? Maybe. But right now, I'm really wide open of being very aware of how my behavior and my energy is getting spent. Okay. All right. The other thing about these closures. So we just went over several domains of closures. These three things, just be very mindful of as you're closing them. So your closures do not need consensus and they don't need external validation from other people. The things that you want to close are for you, and you are the author of your life. Nobody else is doing your life for you. You are the one that's doing your life. So if you find that you're like, "Oh, should I change this behavior?" Okay. Don't ask other people. Don't even ask AI. Figure it out for yourself of, do I want to keep this behavior? Do I want to keep this identity? Do I want to keep these relationships around me? Do I want to keep finding myself in these conversations? Do I want to continue engaging with the audiences that I've been engaging with? Does it feel good to me? Does it feel like it's within my value stream? If yes, then great. That's awesome. If no, or if you're like, I don't know, that's a fat no. Just like do away with it. You don't need consensus from others. You don't need the external validation from others, okay? The things that are in your life for you they don't need any explanation. You don't need to explain why you're making those decisions. They're your decisions to make. And if anybody questions it, it's just like, well, I don't see why it's up for negotiation. It's not. Okay? Chat to chat. I enjoy your topics. You're great. Thank you. Oh, I missed a lot. Okay, wait. Always onward. Yes, Mr. I guess. Never that creepy. Exactly. If you ask yourself those questions, your heart will gladly answer. Are you affected by the floods? I am not. Nope. I used to be in my younger days when I lived on the coast, but I saw the river rose. Remember the river? I got pitch all over my hand. Tree blood. Oh my gosh. Okay. The final thing on the closure of, when you're assessing these is do not apologize. All right. I can't stress this enough. As we move into the 21st century and we start integrating more and more into technology, it is going to be even more and more vital that you understand what your level of agency and sovereignty is. Okay? Your level of agency and sovereignty is going to be extremely vital going into the next phase of technology that we're going into. All right. So don't apologize for how you want things. Don't feel like you need to explain them. Okay. And you don't need consensus. You don't need validation. All right. The way that you want things is the way that it's that you want things. All right. Now, whether or not how the universe is going to move, that's a totally different subject. But you'll know in your heart of hearts what is for your, maybe not what is for your good, but you'll know what direction you need to go. Okay. Nobody else can answer that for you. You can go to all the psychics. They're not going to answer it for you. Okay. You can come to me. I can give you advice. But am I going to have the answers for you? No. You have to make those decisions, and you have to make, even if it's an error, even if it's foolish to make that choice. And I see, oh my gosh, you're making a foolish decision. How do I know? That decision might end up in your best favor. Okay. So really, you don't need consensus. You don't need validation. And this consensus based culture that we're in is a stumbling block. Okay. It's a stumbling block, right? So when you're evaluating and you're looking at what am I naming here? Name the discernment gained out of the situation. All right. So I'll just use my phone as an example since it's so fresh and so new. The discernments that I've gained. When the F did we get ice cream? Glad to see you're safe. No regrets. Wait. Oh my gosh. How do I keep these up? Oh, wait. It said chat viewing options. Hold on. Oh, that wasn't a thing. Oh, I think I figured it out. Okay, when the F did we get ice cream? Pop out chat. Um, I see it now. I hope it works. Oh, now it's still disappearing. I don't know. Okay. I don't know how to operate an iPad, obviously. Where were we? Okay. Oh yeah, name the discernments that are gained. So with my phone, my lost phone saga, what discernments am I gaining from this? Okay. First, I'm saying where I'm tethered, where I've made agreements consciously and subconsciously, unconsciously, made these agreements to operate with the phone, right? Now, as I'm going through there's boundaries that I'm clarifying. Am I going to be paying for the phone insurance? No. Like going forward, no. If I can buy it on the open market, I'm just gonna, even if it's cost me $100 extra, it's worth it for me to save that $20 a month. What's that? $240 a month or a year times four, $640. So I've spent $640 in insurance on a phone that I'm still paying another $300 on. So I've already basically paid another $1,000 for a phone that's really old, that's not valued at that anymore. Okay, so there's boundaries that I'm reviewing as I'm looking at the closure of how I operate with my phone. The illusions lost. Okay, so we've got discernment gained, and then the illusions that are lost. Okay, the illusion that I needed to have phone insurance, I didn't. Okay, and maybe part of me was like, well, my former company was paying for like a 25% of my phone bill, and so I'm like, who cares? Like whatever. They're giving me, $50 a month to pay my phone bill. And so part of me was just like, it's not a loss to me. Like, right? But now I have to pay the full bill. So now I'm looking at, okay, now I have a little bit more skin in the game. Am I going to behave a little differently? And then finally, we're going to name the truths that become embodied. All right. So now, because I lost the phone and it's this very big 9 situation going on for me in my personal life, now the truths that I'm embodying are, when I get my new phone, I'm going to be very aware of, what I'm signing up for and how I'm interacting with it. Instead of just accepting what people are saying, like, oh, you need to get the app, you need to get the app, you need to get the app. Looking at, do I really need to get the app? Is there a way I can opt out? And how much energy is it to opt out? Is it worth it to me? And really embodying that truth of, I want to be as sovereign as possible as I go on into the future. It's not something that I'm just saying to you guys willy-nilly. I'm saying this because I'm actually embodying that truth as I go forward into the 21st century, into the year 2026. So, these are the things that we should be naming here. These are our earned wisdoms. All right. How did you lose your phone? Let's go. I lost it. So I had it in my backpack, and there's like a little top case, zipper pocket that I had it in, and I was on my bike and I was heading to work, and I think it was probably not the most secure. It wasn't zipped, and so I think it just fell on the side of the road somewhere. Sucks, but whatever. All right. I buy used phones from the back market. mean, the black market? Insurance is such a crazy topic, right? It's real like it was really fascinating for me to like see the big picture of what was going on with this phone situation. I was just baffled. Okay. Dig up an old phone for now. Okay, so I did find my old phone. It's a 6, iPhone 6. I don't even think that it'll be I don't even think that the iPhone 6 is supported any longer. I was going to look it up. I just charged it up and made sure that I was able to use it. The battery sucks on it, but at least it works, you know? Um, but yeah, I already did that. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the next. I just tried to swipe up on my paper. Okay, so the discernment, the boundaries, illusions, and the truths are your earned wisdoms as you are moving forward. Now, this is what you will carry forward, and the rest you're going to be leaving behind. So if you have attachment, let's say I had attachment to the photos that were on there, which I kind of do. I'm a little bummed about that, but let's say that I had like a deep attachment to it. And when I lost the phone and I lost those photos, because of that attachment, I just emotionally broke down, dysregulated, crying, sobbing, pacing, like all the things that you can imagine of having this situation going on. Okay. I'm unable to leave the rest behind. Remember, the question was in this initiation, so in this lost phone initiation, am I going to complete the cycle? Well, yeah, I did. And you know what? I completed it in really record time. It was maybe a couple hours of, okay, the phone's lost. Let's just figure out what we've got to do. Okay. On top of all the other losses, it really is minimal. Not that you have to have a huge loss in order to like manage these things. It's just the compounding of loss that I've had to deal with this year has been extraordinary. And it's also given me a lot of peace as new things come up. So now, as I'm, kind of cleaning out the closet per se, um, now I'm able to like leave the rest of this stuff behind. In fact, I've been able to go through a lot of my stuff and get rid of a lot of things. Even more so, whereas before it was really hard for me to go through that stuff, especially while I was in mourning, especially when I just didn't have the energy to do it. Now I do. Okay. So it'll give you a little bit of a energetic bounce back. I might have to tend to my fire here. Let's see if we got some chats. All right. Well, let's get. Woo. Put another log on the fire. Cook me up some bacon and some beans. There we go. All right. So when we're going to kind of shift a little bit into our next phase here of energetic severing. So we're going to be cutting out some stuff, right? We're leaving the rest behind. We're taking the things that are of value to us that we've seen as a good thing. So whatever that identity is, whatever that behavior is, we're taking that and we're moving into the next year. We're going to want to release any feelings. So if you have feelings, if you're sitting there and you're you're in your body, I know that a lot of my listeners are men, but you can also be in your body and hear the feelings of urgency. That's like the to-do list that is constantly going on in your brain, right? There's a sense of urgency. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. All right. So let's think about those things and then let that go. Okay. The next one is, if you tend to be an over explainer, I'm an over explainer. I feel like I have to like say the whole thing, and I think it really has annoyed some past partners. I know my ex definitely did not like my constant asking of questions and constant explanations. I talk quite a bit. Okay. So, but the over explaining of somebody just wants you to acknowledge what they're saying, but then you just kind of go into this diatribe of whatever the situation is. If you have that come up, recognize it, honor it, and then let it go. Like, we don't need to over explain. We don't even need to explain. Just like, yeah, I did that thing. Yes, this is what I want. No, that's not what I want. That's, being in your sovereignty there. Any feelings of rescuing, okay? If you feel like you have to rescue others and that feeling of rescuing gives you some sort of purpose, really analyze why you feel that way, okay? You're only responsible for your own self, okay? And you need to do that to the best of your ability, because you're the only person that you're really in charge of here in this realm. So rescuing is not helping other people. It's only enabling them with codependent behavior, which we were talking about behaviors that we're trying to close here. The codependent behavior is one that this rescuing would fall under. Any feelings of proving yourself, of, oh, I've got to prove myself in order to be accepted, right? That's that external validation. That's that kind of consensus minded thinking. So we're wanting to energetically sever that as well. Like, we're getting some swords out and we're cutting some tethers. Okay. The final one we're going to discuss, shutting up or speaking out. Wait, did I? Everyone like and subscribe. Yep. Me too. I have a hard time knowing when to shut up. Same. Don't burn yourself. Oh, don't worry. I can handle fires. Just swipe up on the flame. Look at that. That's a good looking fire right there. I say so myself. Okay, the final thing that we're going to talk about today is, as far as energetic severing, is spiritual bypassing. You can also think of this as spiritual usury, okay? This is where you avoid responsibility, other things of that nature, and you're like, just thinking, oh, I'm spiritually okay. Spiritual usury, where you're like kind of robbing from the future in order to like have it now. I think of this, if I've renamed debt, I don't like to say I'm in debt. I like to say I have a financial agreement that I need to complete. Okay? Because the words that you say really do matter. And the spiritual bypassing can get in the way And I've seen it with some people that are close to me. Oh, you're going to be a father? Your sister's pregnant? Well, I don't know what states allow that, but hopefully you're in one of those states. But the spiritual bypassing, I've seen it in friends that are close to me where they'll say, "Oh, I know I have a lot of, you know, credit or bill collectors calling me." And, for the last X number of months or whatever, I've been either ignoring them or talking to them and just being okay with it. It's like at some point you're that's kind of a spiritual bypass where it's like I'm okay with it. However, there is this thing about the agreement not being fulfilled that does prevent you from completing and closing, right? It's still this open-ended, repeated cycle of the bill comes in the mail or by email or however they come now. You ignore it and then they send you another one, you ignore it, send another one. Okay. And then being okay with that because it's been so long that you've been in this cycle that you're okay with it. Well, the initiation is, am I going to complete it or am I going to keep repeating it? And now what I'm discussing is you see this repeat, and the spiritual bypassing is the way that they're like, oh, well, you know what? I'm still love and light. I'm still doing this, that. I'm good. And they're just going to have to wait. Okay. The the 9 year, the number 9 is all about pushing you through that initiation of completion, okay, of closing that loop, figuring a way to get out, addressing it, okay. So those are some of the energetic severing that you can do to help release these feelings. And we've kind of touched base on a lot of different things there. See the chat. I know, what the heck. She's back, ladies and gentlemen. I am. All right. I think I did chat a little bit about this earlier, but I did have a note just to kind of reiterate, as I'm closing this year energetically, which is what I'm doing today, is I'm putting up my departure notice of 2025 and just readying myself. I don't know what it's going to be in 2026, but I'm just readying myself to be complete and ready to start new. All right. There's a lot of things that are going on in my house that I'm preparing. I'm. It's weird. Like during the solstice times and the equinox times, I get these bursts of energy to clean out stuff, especially at the end of the year, especially during the Yule. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna reorganize my office. I'd already talked about doing it. I'm reorganizing my office. I'm trying to figure out the best layout so that, the computer desk has the best lighting and that it's makes sense with the way the space is set up because it has two. My house is that I'm renting. My house is ranch style, and so it has a lot of there's like a circle that you can run, like kids love running around the circle, and the office is kind of the same, has this like run through 2 doors that you can kind of go in and out. I think it was built in the 70s, so it has the 70s vibe, obviously with the fireplace. um, But, earlier I did mention that there are people who are going to stick around and listen and follow my podcast and subscribe, and they'll be here to listen to what I have to say because they feel you guys will feel you'll resonate with me. You'll feel a little bit more complete by hearing the things that I'm saying because it's feeding something that you're maybe working on at that moment. Now, there are others who are just not going to resonate with it, and that is fine. Both of these are completely okay, right? There's they'll just continue on their way and go find somebody else that's going to be speaking to them in the way that they need. All right. I just happen to be one voice of many. But I am very grateful for the people that do come in and watch me and comment and participate in the conversation because that's really what we're here for. Okay. Now we're going to be winding down. It's almost an hour. It was like, I just want to do an hour today. So that's great. And then maybe we can have a little chit chat about, stuff that is going on this weekend or today and tomorrow. The big piece that we're really working on here is we're moving. Once we complete the 9, we're moving on with our non-attachments. Okay. Anything that we have attached to us, it's not going to work out. That's the repeat. So we're moving into this new energy with the non-attachments, the severing of the contracts. And I think I've posted it before, but there's this really long it's kind of like this psychic break of contracts, the spiritual and psychic severing of contracts, particularly when it has to do with the demonic, like demonic being attached to you. So really like cutting those when you may not even know that it's on you. So really look at what are my attachments and how can I address those and then move forward with having the non-attachments. All right. And then the final thing that we're thinking about in this departure notice year, this is a 9 year that we're ending. So on 12/31, we go into a universal 1 year. And that is new energy, new feeling. And then in February, we're moving into a new Chinese zodiac. So this is the time right now that we're completing. We're just kind of tidying things up before we move on into that new energy. So what energies are we completing? And we went through some of them, and I invite you to continue thinking about things that you're completing and that you're releasing attachment from. And it's actually kind of fun. It's not daunting. Sometimes it feels daunting. I don't like ending stuff sometimes, but Merry Christmas, Kindred. Good to see you. Number one. We had withdrawals. You're funny. I appreciate and have enjoyed the stream. I enjoy that you're here. Well, thank you guys. So I'm just by myself for the next 5 days. My roommate's not here. My son, I don't think. Oh, well, how far is? Yeah, 5 days is Sunday. My son will come back on Sunday, and so obviously I love cooking. So I have the day off tomorrow. And I'm making little turkey pot pies from some turkey that I had left over from Thanksgiving. And I don't know, I think I was going to make some fry bread. It sounded really good to me. And so that's kind of what I've got going on, that and cleaning up the office and kind of reorganizing that. And do live stream cooking show again. Okay, maybe I will. I might do it in the morning. I have to I don't want to be on too late tonight. I want to go make the pie crust so that it's cooled and ready to go tomorrow. But I was just going to make like little mini muffin ones. And yeah, so I just have a couple home projects plus one. Yeah. And what else was I doing? Oh, now's the time of year that I like to look at what do I want to plant. So tomorrow, hopefully it's nice tomorrow again. It we had like a partial blue sky today, which was pretty nice. It means it's really cold outside. But I was going to plan my garden for the next year. So I have a list of things that I need, which one of them is some dirt, and then one of them is bark mulch. I wanted to put bark mulch down to kind of get rid of some of the sogginess. It's really wet. But yeah, that's what I've got going on. What about you guys? What kind of things are you up to? Love pot pies, yeah. Yes, okay. Get two, yes. I'll keep an eye out for tomorrow morning. Just remember that I'm Pacific time. So my tomorrow morning, it might be like 8 or 9. So that's like midday if you're East Coast. But yeah, do you guys want to see my tree? Hit me up. There's my tree. I don't know why it's like this. My fake tree. I've had that tree. Oh. I've had that tree for like, I got it in 2019. And oh my gosh. Buddies. All right, I'll just hold it. I got that tree in 2019 and I paid $30 for it, and I've had it. I usually put it up outside and get a real tree, but this year I was just like, I know I'm not going to do any of that. So every year I like to add a little bit more decorations, and you guys can see huckleberries, my son's nutcracker collection. Pepe. Looking sinister. We don't have our tree up this year, unfortunately, but yours looks beautiful. Yeah, it's super sparkly. I don't like it because it's not super fluffy, but then this year I'm like, well, it kind of makes sense. It's kind of got lots of space for all the decorations in it, so it works. East Coast. All right. Mike, I can't hit you up. I don't have WhatsApp on my iPad, and I don't know if I can get on. I'll see if I can get on there. I was going to go see if you were on Substack. How much most of the family was infected with COVID, including myself. So we're just recovering from the strain. We'll be doing Christmas probably on Boxing Day or next week. Hopefully opening our gifts. Well, that's something to look forward to. I'll be headed to DFW tomorrow. Whoop. I was looking up flights. Like, I think now until the beginning, like the first week of January, there's usually some cheap flights that you can get. And I was like, oh, maybe I can find some cool flights. Did you make it to Bearfest this past Labor Day? I did not. But I'm going to be planning going this year. I'll be your huckleberry. Love the smell of a new tree. Me too. Printer Bear, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas indeed. Good to see you. I hope all is well with you and your family. Oh my gosh. This was up there. I don't know how. Oh, buddies. Well, I shouldn't have moved it. It was a wrong idea. How are you guys gonna watch this fire get crazy? No, there's no chestnuts on it. All good. Just getting the kids done now. Late day. We all missed you at the fest. Next time. Good night. Good night. Good to see you. There you go. Chestnuts roasting. There's no chestnuts. It's not that big. I have bigger. I have bigger logs. Can you guys hear it? Well, I probably should close this. Otherwise my hair will catch on fire. I don't need to lose my hair. The crackle, yeah. Well, it also has this like air sound. Wait. No fireplace in hotel rooms. Aw. I wish I had somebody here playing the piano live. That would be really nice. Oh, dude. So next year, I'm putting it on the list, but I've been watching Stranger Things. Very interesting. The guys who made I'd never seen Stranger Things, and I don't think I really had any real good understanding of what it was about. But now I'm on my second watch, and it's very fascinating. They talk about MK Ultra in season 2, and other program. Well, MK Ultra, I think it was the one. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're just like bold faced, just talking about this. That's crazy. Bear hugs to you, yes. Merry Christmas. Where's my bear rug? I don't have a bear rug. Don't have my bear rug. Well, next year, hopefully, I will have put together a really nice computer setup, and then I could have people come on, and tons of disclosure in Stranger Things. I know, right? It's yeah, there's lots of things in there that I was like, oh, okay. Might have to watch it again to truly write down like more of the stuff. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm binging right now is Stranger Things, and yeah, just been taking it easy. There's a movie called Disclosure coming out. Are you familiar with Nephilim Death Squad podcast? I know of it. I haven't watched it. I know you'd love it. I probably would. I can barely keep up with Big Bear. Who else do I like to watch? I like to watch Interverse podcast, and what's the other one? I've been watching some other. Oh yeah, BioCharisma. I'll watch BioCharisma. It's hard for me to keep up with all of them. And then obviously I watch Hoodly Daddles Bears R Us stream. Um, but yeah, keeping up with keeping up with the Joneses, I have to like make some decisions. So I don't always get to like see all the things. Let's do this. I'm not holding this. Oh, he was on India's. Yeah, I know he's been on a few times, but I haven't actually watched them. But I know that they were doing some pretty cool stuff. I don't know. Sometimes I just go on and I scroll YouTube and I just pick a thing and like let it play. But I've been binging TV shows lately. Because there was many years where I kind of missed out on entertainment. But yeah. Anyways, well, I should probably log off. You guys are awesome. I love you guys very much. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for thumbsing up. Like 10 people did. That's so cool. It just goes to show you the quality of people, even though they can't stay for the whole thing. Like they do get what they need at the time that they need it. But I'm still in a little hiatus. I just wanted to come on just because I felt like it. And I feel like I should just listen to my instincts. And I have some great podcast topics lined up for next year. So once I do go live, it's going to be, I'm probably going to go on beforehand. I haven't figured out the date that I'm actually going to start yet. I'm still working on my 9 closures. So you'll expect that at the beginning of the year. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful Kwanzaa. I hope you had a great Hanukkah, a great Yule, all the things solstice related. And I hope that you guys also have a safe and wonderful new year. I'm getting a couple bottles of champagne because I just feel like I'm in that era now to be drinking champagne on New Year's. And yeah, I haven't decided what I'm eating yet, but it's going to be something amazing. Yeah, happy Kwanzaa. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. It's nobody's having more fun than us. It's just the facts. That's the facts. But anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful new year, and I look forward to seeing you guys next year. Keep crushing. Give your loved ones hugs and kiss them and appreciate them if you are around them and you're not normally around them, because life is cruising and a bruising. So take care, guys. Happy Merry Christmas and so much love. All right, let me figure